everyone, welcome to Pro Podcast. My name is Leonida Owaga and I'm your host for Dear Mama. And with me today is
I'm Rebecca Oshin.
Karibu Sana to Dear Mama. So, Rebecca, how many kids do you have?
I have 4.
How old were you when you got your first one?
I was 18.
18?
Yes.
That's pretty young. Uliogopa kuambia mzazi?
Okay, when I discovered that, it wasn't an easy thing. Normally, it's not easy. And after some time, I got the courage, and I told her I was with my mom. And then,
How did she react?
Unexpectedly, she was calm. Yeah. And though surprised, because that was not what she expected. And she then had to be open with me and told me so many things about what to expect ahead.
Okay, interesting. When I had my first baby, I was 25. And it felt like a teen pregnancy. I was so scared to tell my mom, even though how she had her first baby, I think at 20 or 19 there. Yeah. And then I know you have 3 girls and 1 boy. So how would you react if one of your daughters, like, do you have any that's under 18?
No, right now the girls are all adults.
Okay.
Yeah, they only need teenage. It's the last one boy is a teenager.
Okay. Speaking of having all girls, in the African culture, most of the time wanasemanga ati when you have a boy, sasa hiyo ndio sasa at least umeongeza like someone for the man who will inherit the family name and all that. And your first 3 children are girls. Did you ever feel any pressure?
Okay, as much as we appreciate each and every child that you have, and it is God's doing to our child, but also there's that traditional cultural thing that the families and the culture, they tend to like or to feel an identity when you have a boy child. So the pressure is always there, though with the society of today you can try and play it cool as though it's not there, as though you are normal, but inside you feel you need to have both the sexes. Yeah, so it's there.
So even you ulikuwa feel like you needed to get a boy?
Yeah. Even from the first child, expected a boy, the second, third, then the fourth one a boy. I got one and that was all.
Unaweza sema ulikuwa unawaongeza ukitafuta kijana?
Not really. Okay, the second one, yes, I expected a boy on my side because for the 4 kids, I never went for a scan.
Oh.
Yeah, to know whether a boy or a girl. So it was like kienyeji, waiting for what to get. So really, at an early stage, I expected a boy. But we became girls, I appreciate. And finally, I got it.
Interesting. What has been most challenging about raising girls?
The most challenging part, mostly, okay, on my side, is the fear of the unknown. Yeah, like owing to what happened to me at an early age, you live fearing that maybe your girl may also disappoint you. But whatever happened to me, I took it as a lesson, and I had most of the time talk to the girls, and I tell them more about my story, and I tell them what happened. So they lived knowing this woman went through this happened. Let me try my best not to be the dark side of her. And so to them all, I appreciate they've been living that life of wanting to be a better person.
Yeah. That's interesting. You said you were telling them how it was hard for you when you were a young mom at 18 with a baby. Like, what were some of the difficult times you had?
The most difficult time that I had was the very year that I had my baby. 4 months later, my mom passed out, and she was the only breadwinner. So I had to be a young mom at the same time, also to be a breadwinner for my other siblings because we were 5, and my elder brother had just joined university. So I was the second born, and then the rest were young ones. Our last born was in class 3.
Class 3.
Yes, so you can imagine all of them. That burden came back to me.
Mm.
So I had not only to be a mother to my baby, but also to my siblings.
Mm.
So that was what happened there.
That's difficult. That's a lot of weight that how they expect.
Yeah.
Did you get any support from anyone, any family?
Usually, when you lose a loved one or a parent, you do have promises from relatives during the time of mourning.
Mm.
And so you think life is going to be the way they speak, or they tell you that they take care, like your aunties, the uncles, they come along that time. But once you bury the deceased, everybody is gone. And you are left there to face the reality. So that's what exactly happened. I was left to take care of my siblings, my baby, and nobody. Actually, to me, there was nobody. It was me and God. Yes.
That's interesting. So, you had no prior knowledge of how to raise a child. Your baby was 4 months, so mnakaribia weaning. So, where did you get all this information? Or
Okay, what also helped me was do I say the traditional way, or the way our mothers, that time, is it the 20th century mothers? Yeah, in the 21st.
yeah,
So the way they did it, you find if you are firstborn, you are a co-parent. So along the way, you felt like your siblings, you knew how to take care of them, wash them, feed them, everything, every stage. So you were already a parent before you become a parent. So when this happened, when you had already been nurtured to being a parent. Yeah. So it wasn't that much, apart from finding means and ways of providing.
So, how did you find a way to provide?
Luckily enough, on my side, my mother was a businesswoman, and she was a type of a parent who never let a child sit and wait. She involved us in whatever she was doing. So at an early age, you could go with her to the market. You know how she used to sell mitumbas. So you know how to do this. She could give you some of the luggage, take to the market. You know how to go to different markets, sell, how to make those advertisements za mitumba, hizo za market. So we knew how to do those things in our family at a tender age. So when she passed on, I had to move in. So I did it with different businesses, not only that one, which she was doing, but I did it with different business, hopping from one to the other. Yeah, and life went on.
Wow, that's nice. And now your daughters are pretty big. And I've seen you with at least one of your daughters, and I know you guys are pretty close. It's nice to see. So, kwanza najua the teen years are normally very hard, especially for moms and daughters. Did you experience a challenge during that time?
Luckily enough, on my side, it wasn't that hard. Apart from at times, you find mtoto kichwa ngumu. Yes, you tell them this, they don't know. But what I know is you take the child, sit them down, talk to them, talk to your child. So that's what mostly I did. I talk to you. You don't quarrel, you talk. Then if you're close, like I was close, I'm close with them, we do talk. We talk our challenges. They find a friend in you. They find a confidant they can tell something. That's something they are going to tell outside there. They find there's a confidant in the house. So you become friends. Once you are friends, you tease, you play, you reduce yourself to their stage at some point. Yes, so that they can feel that you are one, like you are their age mate, you can talk things. Yeah, so we do talk things, we tell you these are the challenges. Oh, I have a boyfriend, this and that. At times it is like, do you have a boyfriend at your age? Yes, I do ask, do you have a boyfriend? Then they'll open up and tell you, like, okay, so you know these things. Now they come up and tell you something. Yeah, and then the social media nowadays, there are a lot of teachings. Some are good, some are bad. So if you find something interesting, you share with them. And then they come to learn, okay, these are the qualities of a good man, qualities of the telltale to look in a person, a friend. What are some of the signs that will tell you that this person is not good? Or, so as much as they are there, also you discuss them. And we share a lot, and these are also helped.
Nice.
Yeah.
We were having a conversation earlier, and you were telling me that some moments of clashing is when it comes to what you expect of them or what you would like for them to be or for them to do. They might not necessarily want it. So I'm wondering, how do you go about that now?
Okay, in life, every being, once born, you have a line you want to take. As you grow, maybe you find a child at a pre-primary. As they grow, maybe you ask that child, what do you want to be? I want to be a teacher, I want to be a doctor. And then when they reach high school, you ask them, they'll now start knowing that some things known as neurosurgeon, lawyer. So they start upgrading on what they want. And then as they go, then you find somebody wants to be an engineer or a photojournalist, something different now from what they wanted. Then as a parent, maybe, this one you find with many families. You find a family where they are lawyers. So you will find this family, they expect, or if their parents are lawyers, they expect even their child to be a lawyer. And maybe the child is not interested in that path. So you find they are trying to force it on a child. Well, maybe this child wants to be a musician, which is something so contradicting to being a lawyer. And they have a talent in it or a passion in it. And then it will take wisdom or understanding of this child for the child to pursue what he or she likes, other than forcing in what you did like or your parents had forced on you. Yes.
Sometimes a parent would say that they're not really forcing it on you on like bad terms. It's just that they know practically music does not pay very well. And if I'm a lawyer and your mom's a lawyer, if you go into law, we can connect you somewhere and then maybe you can get more money or you can have an easier time in the job market compared to if you choose a path that is not necessarily familiar and probably they know more information about.
Yeah, so what I say about all this, it needs a clear guidance for your child. Also, you can expose them to get the career guidance and some counseling, because we know of many who have passion in music. They take it as it's their talent, but still they study something. Okay, you can be a lawyer, but you're a musician also.
Yeah.
So you get your passion, and you study something which your life, for the rest of your life, you'll be depending on. Yeah, because with music comes with stardom, celebrity, and then when that time you are on the peak, then the time comes when you are down. You are no longer that celebrated celebrity. But when you study a profession like, for example, law or being a teacher or anything, which most parents, we do want our children to do, it's something you retire in. Or how do I put it? It's something, it's a profession that shall pay you for some time. But with the music and the other, you will need to be a star. So maybe for your time to become a star, it will take long, maybe together. So it has not started being, and you put everything you had put in music.
Yeah.
So that's why we find the parents clashing with the children. Yeah.
So it's very important to be able to at least find a balance.
Yeah, find a balance. So parents also don't come with that pose that I'm the big man, Whatever I say is what is done. Let's you two have a communication. If you talk about it today and you don't agree, give it some time. 2-3 days or a week, or then come back with the topic. Do research about what this child wants, and the child also do research on what you want, and you will strike a balance on what's supposed to be done. Yes. The other child will go and study with that nursing or doctor, which the parent wants, and at the same time, she or he can study that thing which she likes and have it. It's possible.
That's true.
Yeah.
At least also give them room to even do what they also like.
Yeah, you give them room to do what they like. As much as you put pressure or you try to persuade them to do what you want, give them the do's or the advantages of doing what you want. Yeah.
It's interesting. So we were talking about some of the challenges you faced raising daughters, and you said one of the fears is maybe them being pregnant like early, like having a teen pregnancy, being pregnant before their time or before they are ready. So I'm curious, and you have open conversations with your daughters. Do you have conversations around sex and intercourse and all that
Yes.
openly?
Yes.
And it's not
Because
awkward.
you there's no way you are going to fear them being pregnant, then you don't talk about sex. You have to talk about it.
How do you even bring up that topic?
And that's where I was telling you that you have to lower your standard to the point that you look like you are their age mate. Yeah, you come like you are friends. You know, even if you are a friend to an elderly person, for you people to be friends, that people say so and so is a friend to so and so, there must be a point where you reach at the equilibrium. You are all the same. Yeah, there are some things in your mind which are the same to the other person.
Yeah.
And that's when you can reason together. So at such kind, you can even start a conversation and tell, I used to have a boyfriend of that, and then they'll tell you something about them, and then you come and yeah.
So now,
and not only that, also when you are talking about you are talking about sex, it's not only about pregnancy, because pregnancy we get a child is born. When it is there, everybody's mad, everybody fumes. But when the child is born, everybody is happy. But what of the diseases? What of the STIs? Yeah, you'll suffer alone. So you have to talk about sex. And you tell them it's not all about pregnancy. It's also about the sexually transmitted diseases. Yes.
So I'm curious, what do you tell your daughters? Do you preach abstinence or protection?
I preach abstinence, but also protection. Because you'll tell them to abstain, but you never know. You'll not be with them everywhere they go. Yeah. The funkies are there. The whatever, the celebration, the birthday, the parties. You'll not be there.
Yeah.
And you won't tie them at your seat every time. You tie them there and you go your jobs, then you come and tie them. No. Yes. When you give somebody, also another thing that helps, give this person the freedom. And then teach them how to use their freedom. If you use it badly, it will affect you. So with whatever happened to me, I could give the examples. You know, at times I will tell them, you see, so and so, or a certain name, this was my classmate, this was my this and that, you know. So you talk. The more you talk, you elaborate on issues, and then you give them the dangers of engaging in premarital sex, unprotected. Yeah, it's not all about babies. You know, the society will always judge you with the bump.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what if you don't get that bump, but you are sick?
Yeah. Did you ever get to have that conversation with your mother?
Unfortunately, no.
Do you think that if you were able to, it would have given you a bit more information even as you were going into?
Yes. I do regret a lot because she was that type which is busy. Okay, I'm also busy, yes. But she never talked about that. And that's also applies to the most religious people.
Yeah.
You find somebody's too religious to talk of the fact of what is happening around. Yeah. My mother was a born-again Christian. Yeah, there's some things you cannot talk about. You know? But when you don't talk about them, you'll talk about them when they've already happened. Yes. So it's my advice even to parents. You are a pastor, you are a Mama Kanisa and the rest. Don't be too religious to talk about issues which are affecting the society and the girl child and even the boy child. Tell them. Yes. Tell them. You are too religious to the extent that some things you can't mention the way they are. You can't tell them. Then, and that's why you find it, I don't know, there's a narrative that nyumba za wachungaji ndio zinaharibika sana. Yeah, there's that narrative that these children from the pastors and the religious leaders, you see, ndio zinaharibikanga sana. Because the parents have left that part of being a parent. Now wamechukua side ya kuwa too religious to the extent that they can't speak about some issues. When you tell your child that the eye is used to see, and when the eye cannot see properly, you take to the optician and you get the spectacles, and now it can see. The same way, you should tell them about the other parts of the body, part of the organs, yes. You take yourself to a man, as I talk to the ladies, you take yourself to a man, you get pregnant. And if you don't get pregnant, you get STI. And if you don't get STI, what happened? You can get them both. Yes, tell them every part of the body. As you tell them about your hands, work hard with your hands, God will bless. Tell them the other parts of the body also. They have what they have to do. The boys, yes. You are not just supposed to be moving around with everybody. You will get STI. Something will happen to you that will affect your future life. Yes.
I've always wondered what's the right age to even have this conversation? When did you start having this conversation with your kids?
I think on my side, I was relating with myself from the time I started, like, do I say it's maturing or started knowing some things?
Yeah.
And then so I see if that age, like 12, you had started having some crush on somebody, just feel like this one. When you see that person talking to the other person, just feel like, no, you're not supposed to talk to you, you're supposed to talk to me. So that feeling started at that age. That's the age you're supposed to start talking about these issues. Yes.
That's interesting.
And it do happen very early. Yeah, that's age when a child feels like that is my friend or that is my person. And it comes even early to some others, depending. The kids who develop early and those. Yeah. So you know your children. If you are close with your children, if you are friends, there are some things you will start noticing. Yeah. But if you are not close with your children, when you say talk a morning, you go out, they go to school while you are asleep, and you come back while they are asleep. And there's nowhere you meet and talk. You will not know your children. And that's why you find most parents, it is the teachers who knows that. The teacher knows that your child is a thief, but you live with your child in the house, you don't know the child is a thief. Yes, it happened. When you are told that, oh, okay, Mr. So-and-so, a child has done this and that, and you say, no, my child cannot do that. It's not that they cannot do that. You don't know that child. So that is the problem you have to do. Yeah.
Interesting. And for your son as well, you told me he's 14, yeah?
Yeah.
You already had the conversation with him?
Yeah, my son, in fact, the case of my son was a bit tricky. Yeah, it was a bit tricky because as the only son, we loved him, plus the sisters, so he was carried. And then he's like, everything he wanted, he could get. So when he could not get it, this boy started stealing. Yes. And so you could miss something in the house. Somebody could miss the other one. So it was either a beating or the normal parent punishment. But a time came when I said, no, you have to sit down and talk. Yes, we did talk. We talked. It was not changing. Kidogo started changing. So I involved there was an intervention of somebody who can talk also. There was one of the teachers I take him for tuition, who talked to him, counseled him also. And I took him to tuition there, and indeed he changed. Yeah, with the time he changed. Because when he was starting his primary level, the lower classes, the boy was someone with an attitude. Very temperament, throwing of things, and he feels like everything should be done according to the way he wants it. Yeah. So if it is not done his way, then it's not going to be done. So we had to. I left him for some time. I didn't take that, or I wasn't careful with him until he changed completely. But I thank God, managed to come back, talk to him, bring him close, because the beating was not doing him any good. Yes, you beat him, do everything, punishment, still he goes back to the same character. Then another thing also, the boys at the groups they keep, the friends, plays a major role in their life. Yeah, he had some friends, you see them friends, they come to the house, you think they're just friends like others, but they had already started influencing him in other things. So you find out these friends, they are drugs, they're into drugs, but they are in primary school, they are into drugs already. So with him, his part was to go to the house, check for money, or come and tell me something when I'm at job. Because he knows while I'm at job and he comes and tells me, Mom, I want to buy this and this, or the teacher wants this, I'll give him money because I'm busy. Yeah. So the money will be used for something different. So when we discovered all these, started talking to them. And then talking and becoming friends. We became friends. We talked. And eventually it changed. As he was sitting his KCP, he set his KCP as a changed person.
Oh,
yes.
That's really nice.
So bringing a child close, bring that child close to you and talking to the child will help more than giving punishment and beatings. Yeah. Giving punishment and beatings is hardening them. They become more resistant. Yeah, sasa. After all, I'll do it and I'll be beaten and itaisha. But when you are friends, and then he does something that is going to make you sad, you start feeling remorseful that, if I do this, Mom will not be happy, or Dad will not be happy, or my sisters are not happy. Everybody is not happy because of my habit. But if everybody is hostile, I'll be beaten and inaisha. So that's the direction of being close and talking. When he does something wrong, come, and then it reached a point you could call him and tell him, who took this money? There's some money I kept somewhere. And then you tell him, I'm searching for money. You will not get money for your school. You will not get money for this. That is the money I was keeping for your exam. So it seems you're not going to sit for the exam. And then they're like, so I'm not doing that. Yeah. So he comes back to settle and then you become good friends. So anything he needs, he asks. He knows that what is not man have to ask. Yes. Really and that really changed him.
How did you handle the friends who are influencing you wrongly? How did you handle that?
With the friends, this had to be a teamwork. From home, I had to put boundaries. Yes, and even some friends I had even to tell them, so and so, please, mkutane huko nje, mambo ya kuja kwa nyumba, staki. And then you come back to your son and tell them, so such and such a friend, please keep off. How is this friend? How is he? How is he doing? And they do this, they do tell me to do this, to cut them off. Because if you don't cut them off, either you'll be caught by the police, taken there, and you'll be taken to prison. And then they start telling. Then you tell them, or the neighbors will call police on you, or something will start getting into drugs. Your life will be useless. So you give an example, because in every village there's somebody who's just somebody there in the village. They tell them like, you see so and so, you'll be like so and so. Yeah. So and then also it's a teamwork, because you also have to talk to the teacher. I thank God, like for my case of my son, the class teacher here, class 7 to 8 was a very good teacher. So we'll talk. Go make sure you are present in all class. There are those meetings, class meetings where parents are needed. Don't send a maid. Don't send somebody to represent your child. Take a day off from job. Go and present and to know that child. You will help that child. So most cases I will try so much to be in those meetings. Then you go talk to the teacher one-on-one. And the teacher will tell you, this son of yours, how is he at home? Then you will narrate. Then the teacher will tell you how the son is at school. And then if there's a problem, we will find means and ways. So you'll find if something has to be put a roadblock at school, you've already put a roadblock at home. So you'll have to walk the thin line. But when on your side you don't go to school, you don't know what is happening there. And most of the time they're in school.
Yeah.
Then the teacher puts a roadblock at school, but at home it is free. You're not helping that child.
That's true.
Yeah. So me, I'll urge parents, be available. When you are called in school, you are needed there, go. Go, leave everything and go to school. There you'll know what's happening with your son and the company he or she is keeping.
Plus, there's some parents who even as they go to school, they're quick to defend their child. Leo mtoto wangu akwangi hivi, afanyangi hivi, mwalimu ndio anamwekelea. So I think pia venye unasema it's very important pia to listen to the teacher because they've been with the child like throughout the entire term, throughout the year for the longest. So it's really important to listen.
Yeah, it's very, very important because that teacher spends a lot of time than you with the child.
Yeah.
You see this child while he or she is asleep. Because the whole day, wewe pia umeshinda shughuli zake.
Yeah.
That teacher sees the child from morning, the way he appears in school, whether hajaosha uso, yeye ndiye anaonanga. Haja brush viatu, is unkempt, yule mwalimu ndiye anaonanga. And then the way he presents, his courage, is how he carries himself. It's the teacher who sees more than you. Yes. Maybe in your house, it's once you get here from school, hakuna kutoka nje. So it is that you are just comfortable with the fact that when you get to the house, you find the child. And you know that since I get my child in the house, huyu ni mzuri sana atembeangi. But you don't know what they do in between. So it's very important, listen to the teacher. That teacher is a parent, just like you. Hakuna vile ataekelea mtoto wako. Why? For what? What benefit?
Sure.
Yeah. If your child is good, they'll tell you the child is good. If you see a teacher is having problem with their child, beware yourself, become a friend with that teacher, and you'll know what the problem with child is. Most children, most youths you see nowadays, being in drugs or tabia zingine tu, walianza kama wako hata primary school na walimu walijua. But because you are kind of parent, when you are called, this teacher is always disturbing me. Najua ni pesa mnataka. Yeah, so that's the way we talk. Najua ni pesa mnataka sasa. How much? You send the money. You will send the money, yes. Every fee shall have paid. But then there's a moral decay in that child, which it will be too late to correct. Yeah, it will be too late to correct.
That's interesting.
So I encourage parents, the parent and the teacher, be one thing
Work
to
together.
help with that child. Work together. Because you are all for the child. Nobody is against the child. You are all working for the child. When this child has good behaviors and passes the exams, the teacher is happy. My child, before teachers, they call the children, the candidates, my child passed.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
because when the child passed and is there on the newspaper or on the TV, they are happy. Just as you parents saying, my son has passed, you are happy. So nobody is working against the child.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
Just finally, you told me your son had kept not so good company.
Yes.
Did you ever reach out to the other kids' parents to tell them what they did?
No, I didn't reach to the other parents' kids, but the ones who could come to my house and already known their character, because I went to school and the teacher told me this and this is not a good character. And then he talked also to my son and I told them keep off such kind of companies. So I also came back to my house. It was a rule, such kind of companies, no. Yeah, not in my house. And if you go out there and something happened to you, it will be upon you. And then they go back to school and they find the same messages with the teacher. Just have to trim.
You set boundaries.
Yeah, you
and
set
at the same time,
boundaries.
yeah, have a relationship with them, have a talk, and also
And with the
engage
teacher.
as well.
And the teacher, if you see anything, mwalimu nipigie.
Yeah.
So the boy will be careful while in school
And when not-
and while at home. Because you know, if he does something at home, mom will know. He does it at school, mom will know.
Wow, thank you. This has been a very enlightening conversation. I've learned quite a bit. Thank you so much for joining me. I've really enjoyed your company, the conversation. And I know there's moms out there who also learned something in parenting. I hope this helps you as well. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and also please be sure to follow us on our socials at Pro Podcast Kenya on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Until next time, bye.
Bye.